Shehzad, it's one thing to exude body language of stability. There is no doubt that the numbers that stack up in this coalition government are much more than what the UPA government and the Congress had enjoyed in their 2 terms between 2004 and 2014. But is there a sense of fragility? I mean, that is being acknowledged that it's not the same anymore. The first 10 years was a brute majority. This time, vulnerabilities have to be acknowledged. Maybe Rahul Gandhi is, using rhetoric and making it sound very dramatic, but those vulnerabilities exist.
You know, Shiv, there have been some people, especially and particularly on this panel, who have been very consistent. I must applaud them, but they've been consistently looking for these vulnerabilities, and they've been consistently wrong about these vulnerabilities. For instance, there have been some people on this panel who said in 2001, Modi cannot be the chief minister of Gujarat, he won't be able to survive. Then in 2013, they said there will never be a time when Modi will be the prime minister of India. Then when he became the prime minister, they said, how will this Modi ever have foreign relations with any other country? And then when he became the prime minister in 2019 and 2024, now they are saying that Modi will not last for 5 years. So they've been consistent, but consistently wrong. And I think you know very well who are those consistent cynics. Having said that, let me tell you that stability, as Rashid is trying to portray, is not just a function of arithmetic. Stability is also a function of political chemistry. And the fact of the matter is, whether you look at it from the arithmetic point of view or the chemistry point of view, this alliance has both those key ingredients. Let me give you an example. If you go back in time and see all the alliances, which alliances are usually stable? One whose core is big. For instance, the UPA2 had a stronger core of 206. We have an even stronger core of 240. That's a numerical way of looking at it. But the other aspect is this, which is the chemistry aspect, where there's a strong leader and a pan-national presence and a pre-poll alliance. That's what we have. That's what some alliances had in some measure before this, but no alliances had it as strong as we do. And therefore, this is not just backed by strong arithmetic, it's also backed by strong chemistry. But let me make a last pointer, and that last point is this, that my dear friend Sanjay, you have been predicting that Modi wouldn't be Prime Minister in 2014. And then you said it in 2019. I continue to say that Sanjay is suspended not just in position, but in logic, because he keeps making these claims, but they never come true. So Sanjay, even while you're trying to unlock EVMs through phone OTPs, I wish you well. Keep looking, but you didn't answer the question I asked you. Is Uddhav happy with the arrangement of Vishal Patel? No answer, Sanjay. Is Pappu Yadav's arrangement going to make RJD happy? No answer, Sanjay. I wonder, Sanjay, why you never answer a question as it's posed.
Let me toss in a question. Sanjay can choose to answer, Shehzad, but I'll toss in a question because, Sanjay, one of the first comments that you made following the results, I remember right here on India Today, was actually, something that Shehzad would agree with. Where you said, don't underestimate Modi's ability to handle a coalition, and you cannot underestimate his ability, to juggle the new dynamics and rules of engagement in a coalition government and this new reality in Modi 3.0. If that is true, then Rahul Gandhi is fooling himself, isn't he? Then you don't agree with Rahul Gandhi, Sanjay.
No, Shiv, I'll tell you what I meant there, and I repeat that. Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah have demonstrated over the last 10 years the powers of the Sam, Dam, Dand, Bhed politics, right? Operation Lotus is probably the BJP's biggest legacy over the last 10 years. How to topple governments, how to hijack people, how to threaten them, use electoral bonds.
I hate interrupting, Sanjay, but what does that have to do with Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar?
No, I'm just answering the broader point. The broader point here
sanctimonious
is this, and let's pay attention to that. Again. Number one point is, and this is where Rajat is a very smart guy with the numbers, but he cannot dispute that. You see, what is different in this election is that the people of India have discovered that this was the most lopsided election. It was not a level playing field. So Rajat has to recognize this reality that the people have known. Shiv, more people I talk to, the more they appreciate what Congress and India has done, because they knew that the money and the resources, the ED, CBI, income tax, the harassment of opposition chief ministers being put in jail, Congress bank accounts being frozen, all of it made it, it's like a 100-meter race where Sanjay Jha is running, starting at 50 meters with a handicap, and poor Shiv Arur has got no sneakers, is not being allowed to wear proper athletic wear, and he's running the full 100 meters. Even if I'm running at a snail's pace, I'm going to beat you, Shiv, although you are a muscular stud of a guy. So that is the reality. Point number two, Point number two, and a very important point, Shiv. Point number two, if you look at what Rajiv Gandhi's message was, Rajiv Gandhi's political party, the Congress, was the single largest party in 1989.
Yeah.
It came down dramatically. We agree that number was huge. But Rajiv Gandhi did not even offer his candidature to be prime minister because he said the mandate is against me. And here is a gentleman by the name of Mr. Modi, India's prime minister, who basically said 400
But
seats,
the drop is not that dramatic. Come on, Sanjay.
less.
The comparison is an unfair one.
No, it is not. I'll tell you why. Mr. Modi gaslighted India. Just one section.
Let me answer.
Mr. Modi gaslighted India into believing it's 400 seats. He got 160 less. And he still believes the mandate is in his favor. I can tell you, just wait till October, when the BJP is likely to be wiped out in Maharashtra, Haryana and Jharkhand. And by December, you may have a new election.
No, but I'm just wondering whether the 400 par thing, which was taken obviously very seriously as a campaign kind of refrain, you're pinning it on, that as a yardstick by which to judge this mandate, which doesn't look fair to me. Quickly, Shehzad, then I'll go to Rajat.
Look, this is Sanjay Jha, and again I say why he's suspended in more than one ways. We came down from 303 to 240. We don't have the mandate to form government. But Congress, which contested 328 seats and managed to win 99, did not cross 100 for the third time consecutively, and is the third worst performance of the Congress. They have a right to form the government. I asked Sanjay two straight-up questions. Uddhav Thackeray, RJD. He didn't answer those questions. 1 second, sir. I did not interrupt you. There is a reason why I put that question to you. And in fact, please answer it in the third time. Maybe you will be able to. That will still be better than Rahul's attempts because he's had 7-8 attempts and he's still not been able to deliver the goods. But having said that, 1 second, sir, please don't interrupt. Look, Shiv, this 9 p.m. sanctimonious debating things has gone on for too long. Today, Sanjay Jha came and said, we grabbed the government. In 2019, who formed the government in Maharashtra? It was the BJP Shiv Sena government. Who grabbed Shiv Sena away from us? 2020, it was an alliance of NDA. Bihar, it was JDU and BJP. Who grabbed JDU away from us? So let's call this out. Bank accounts are not frozen. Congress's bank accounts are not frozen. There is a lien. Perhaps Sanjay Jha's English is better than mine. He would know the difference between a lien and a frozen.
Quick reply, Sanjay, then I have to go to the others.
And he's given platforms to do that.
Sanjay, quick one.
A very quick response. I mean, Shehzad, you have been in Maharashtra. I can tell you that Mr. Eknath Shinde and Mr. Ajit Pawar are probably going to be the new manifestations of a serious problem for you. Hold your breath for a while. But I think on the larger point of toppling governments, may I give you the excellent example of Arunachal Pradesh, where an entire government was hijacked.
Uddhav Thackeray, Vishal
the entire government was hijacked.
RJD, Pappu Yadav, answer the question.
Puducherry. Come on, Shehzad, you cannot whitewash what has been a blatant destruction of democracy under Mr. Modi.
Okay, Rajat,
the Congress which misused 356 is lecturing the BJP.
Okay. Let's move it forward. Let's move it forward on this.
It is.
We can butt heads on all these points, but let's take it forward because the larger debate is finally about the vulnerabilities. Sanjay, made a couple of points referring to you. Rajat, you want to take those on? Rajat, you're on mute.
Yeah. Sorry. Amidst all the political banter that we heard from Sanjay ji respectfully, he just slid in a very important line towards the end of his comment. He said that in December, we will have a national election again. So he clearly believes that the India formation is so fragile that as of now, it cannot give us a stable government.
We're not toppling governments, we're ethical. That's what I meant.
Sir, please, this is the biggest admission you made on live television. Now, the audience of India Today can very easily go back and look up what you said in the previous comment. This is the level of confidence that some of the insiders of the Congress party also have about the vulnerabilities of the India alliance in the first place. And I think this is where the story should stop. All such discussion should stop. Internally, Rahul Gandhi and his folks around him clearly know that the other alternative doesn't have a viable prospects of giving us another sort of a government. If the national election has to happen in the best case scenario, the mandate will again go back to the public to decide if they want a khichdi sort of an alliance wherein BJP doesn't have the numbers, or do they want to go out and elect another strong government. You should leave that to the public. But right now, one thing is clear. They are trying to play an international game too. They want to project to the world somehow that delusional world that they're living in is the reality. And that delusional world of sneakers, us not having sneakers and they are having sneakers and they have this and that, supposedly has given them the reason for being happy about this mandate. Let them don't mislead the global investors that this government is going to fall, because that costs us Indians. It is in the negative interest of our own country if you create this around the world suspicion, air of suspicion that this government is unstable. Please don't do that. Show them the numbers. Let me tell you, nobody globally knows the exact numbers of the situation, how things are pegged. They go by these headlines, and this is the misfortunate sort of thing that Congress party is indulging in.
I'm completely out of time, but I'll leave the last word to Rashid, because I'm wondering, whether khichdi or not, is there an attempt being made at all by the India Alliance to fish in, allegedly troubled waters? The BJP says there's nothing troubled here. Everything's absolutely fine. Look inside your own house to the India Alliance. But is there some strategizing actually going on, Rashid bhai?
Not really. I think
Rashid bhai, just before you come in,
I think it is just
Rajat should know that his government is a khichdi government. He should know that. It's a khichdi government currently. So don't be critical of khichdi.
Okay, Rashid. I love khichdi. There's nothing criticizing khichdi,
exactly.
But you know what I mean.
Do I.
Yes. Rashid bhai, last comment, yeah.
So khichdi, if you want to eat khichdi, you cannot just put your hand in that hot plate of khichdi. You have to go sideways. So therefore, I think from the India Alliance point of view, they are just fancying their chances. There is nothing substantive at present, but they are looking for an opening. This is just a mind game that is being played, and even for international audience, etc. Both sides are doing it. One side is showing that everything is normal, continuity, very determined government. Other side is saying it is very weak and unstable. See, the allies tend to be, look at the track record, as Mr. V.N. Gadkil had famously said that Atal Bihari Vajpayee has constantly facing 3 human bombs, Mamta, Samta, Jayalalitha. So that kind of, regional parties have a tendency to flare up at any point of time, and that is and there is of course internal situation of the BJP, and as I said, how Mr. Modi performs in Haryana, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Jammu Kashmir.
We have a big parliament season coming up in the next few weeks, which we'll be looking at very closely. There will be even more indicators as far as stability or lack thereof. This is going to be one big bone of contention. There's going to be a lot of psychological warfare between both sides under these new dynamics and rules of engagement. It's going to be very interesting to see